the dance of a deeper explanation. Zen, happiness, and the teachings of Dōgen and Aristotle. Imagine being told that the secret to happiness isn't winning the lottery, scoring the dream job, or finally getting your inbox to zero. What if true flourishing has less to do with external victories and more to do with a strange, ongoing conversation you have with yourself? Aristotle called it the activity of the soul, in accordance with virtue. Zen, especially in the teachings of Dōgen, calls it studying the self. And when you put those two together, happiness starts to look less like a goal and more like a practice. A life of persistent introspection that, itself, expresses our humanity. Take Aristotle first. In the Nicomachean ethics, he argues that everything aims at some good, and the highest good is happiness, eudaimonia. But here's the kicker. Happiness isn't pleasure or wealth or honor. It's the steady expression of virtue. And what virtue is proper to human beings? Not strength like an ox, not speed like a cheetah, but reason. Our highest virtue is the activity of study, contemplation, reflection, inquiry. For Aristotle, to live well is to study well, and in doing so to shape one's life into a harmony of circumstance, thought and action. Now consider Dōgen. In his Genjōkōan, he writes, "To study the Buddha way is to study oneself. To study oneself is to forget oneself. To forget oneself is to be enlightened by the myriad dharmas." For Dōgen, Zen practice is precisely this ongoing study. Not study with books, but study with your whole body and mind. Sitting in zazen, you observe how thoughts arise and dissolve, how the self clings and releases, how each moment reveals the world afresh. The point is not to accumulate knowledge, but to ultimately manifest a kind of self-forgetting in which the boundary between me and other dissolves. And here's where the parallels come alive. Aristotle says happiness is the expression of virtue, with study as our highest virtue. Dōgen says happiness, if we dare to call it that, emerges through the study of self, a study so complete that the very idea of self falls away. Aristotle might claim, the flourishing life is a contemplative one. Dōgen might reply, yes, but this contemplation must strive to pierce the illusion of I, until subject and object are no longer two. Put together, we get a picture of happiness that isn't about acquisition or escape, but about rhythm. Aristotle's virtue provides the disciplined framework, while Dōgen's introspection supplies the radical honesty. Both traditions insist that happiness is an activity, not a possession. Both claim that to be human is to study, whether through rational contemplation or through direct awareness of the self's impermanence. So perhaps the secret is this: the study of virtue and the study of self are two sides of the same coin. Happiness, whether in Aristotle's Lyceum or on Dōgen's meditation cushion, is nothing more and nothing less than the ongoing project of learning to be fully human.